Okay, children. So, till now, what we have studied is what are the factors which determine the distribution of the organism, and we know that it is the environmental condition, it is the abiotic factors which determine the type of the population which live in a particular area. And we also know that they are not uniformly distributed because the environmental conditions are not uniform. They are different at different locations, so depending upon that, the organisms are distributed. Then we studied about the various characteristics of the population, which is death rate, birth rate, sex ratio, the age distribution. Now the question is that whether we are able to predict well in advance the population of a particular area. Yes, by the age distribution we can do that. By various other methods also we can do that, but every method is not applicable for every organism. So there is a growth models which are available. The scientists, they studied the growth pattern or the change of the population pattern of different organism, and they concluded that they basically lies in two different patterns, and we are going to study that growth models. Growth models are the pattern of the growth which of population of a particular organism which is followed by them. So they are generally the lower organism and the higher organism. The lower organisms are like the fungi, the algae, the bacteria, and the higher organism includes animals, and it also includes the human beings and few plants also. But the lower plant shows the same model as shown by the lower organism like bacteria. So there are two types of growth models, and the growth models, as I told you, growth models are the one which can predict, or by which we know the population pattern. So growth model, one of them is called as an exponential growth curve. Exponential growth curve. It is also called as J-shaped growth curve. J-shaped. It is also called J-shaped. So if this is the y-axis, this is x-axis, and this is time, and this represents the population, then the low organisms, they represent a J-shaped curve. It would be somewhat like this. That is, what is happening here, that this particular phase, initial phase of the growth pattern of the organism, initially there is no increase in the population, so they will keep on maintaining the number of individuals of that population. So this is called as the lag phase, where there is no improvement, they remain stagnant. Then what happens when the with time what happens, maybe the favorable season comes, there is rainy season, the resources are available, the temperature is conducive, pH is also very good, there are very less predators. So when the conditions are favorable for them, so what happens, they reproduce and they keep on increasing their number, and the growth curve keeps on increasing, and the population growth also increases. So it reached its peak. So this is the lag phase, and this particular part is the exponential phase, or we also call it as log phase. And you know what happens when let us take the example of the algae. When there is rainy season, the algae, they grow to a great extent. You will find greenery everywhere, in the roadside ditches also, in the temporary water bodies also, you will find the green layer of algae is formed. But after the rainy season, what happens? When the water dries, even the algae is not seen. So what will happen? There is a sudden reduction in their growth pattern, and their number goes down. So algae in that season, it survives in the form of spores. So there will be a lag phase, then the log phase, and finally there is a end of that. So the population will come down, and in the next next favorable season, again it will grow like this. So it will keep on representing the J shape, and after that, showing the exponential phase, their population will all of a sudden crash down. They will become very, very less. So this particular curve is represented by an equation called as, which can be represented as dn upon dt is equal to birth rate minus death rate into n. Now I'll explain you what all these symbols represent. Dn is the difference in the population. For example, if the number of the population of frog is 200 and 40 more are added in a year, and the later on become 240. So the total number of increase in the frog population is 40. So dn, n is the population, n is the population. So dn will be the increase in the population at that particular span of time. dt is whatever time we have taken. Like in this case I have taken 1 year, so the dt would be 1 year. And b is the birth rate, d is the death rate. So when we reduce the birth rate, when we reduce the death rate from the birth rate, then this will be called as r. R is the rate of intrinsic increase. R is the rate of intrinsic increase. What does that mean? The capability of the natural capability of the organism to increase its number is its inherent property, inherent characteristic. So that rate is called as a rate of intrinsic increase. For example, if a frog produces 2 progeny in 1 year, then when we calculate the entire population of the frog in that area, and after 1 year we again calculate the population, we can find out the rate of intrinsic increase. I'll give you example. Suppose there are, as I told you, 200 frogs initially, and the number increased to 240. So there is increase of 40 frogs in that area. So 40, what will be the rate of increase? So 40 will be divided by the original population. So it is going to be 2 and then 10, that is 0.2. So 0.2 frogs or progenies are born to each frog within a span of 1 year, because the time which we have taken from 200, from increasing to 240 from 200 is, let us say, 1 year. So the rate of intrinsic increase of frog is 0.2. So that is the inherent property of the organism to produce a progeny. So this equation can also be written as dn upon dt is equal to rn. N is the original population, r is the rate of increase, dn is the number of individual which has increased in that population, and dt is the time factor which we have taken into consideration. So this is one curve which is called an exponential growth curve or the J-shaped curve, and it is generally shown by lower organisms. Lower organisms, like it can be bacteria, it can be fungi, it can be algae, it can also be flies, it can also be mosquitoes. So that is one curve, the J-shaped curve or the exponential growth curve. Fine. Now, if this particular equation is converted into its log form, then it will become n t is equal to n0 e to the power rt. This is the log form. You don't have to learn the derivation, you just have to learn the equation. Nt is the population at time t, n0 is the population, original population, e is the base of log, whose value is fixed and it is 2.7. R is the rate of intrinsic rate or intrinsic increase, and t is the time. So this is about the J-shaped curve. Now let us study the next curve with the same x-axis and the same y-axis, but the pattern which is shown by the organism is a little bit different. So the second growth curve, the B, it is called sigmoid growth curve, and here it is called as S-shaped growth curve. S-shaped growth curve. Okay, so S-shaped growth curve is, as the name suggests, it is shown by S, the alphabet S. So here we have this is time factor, this is the lag phase, same as I explained earlier. This is the log phase or the exponential phase, and here the curve is like this. It has not gone down, it has not crashed, but it remains stable. So this particular part is called as the stationary phase. So there are 3 phases and it is represented by human beings or the high organisms. For example, Initially, when the organism are living in a particular place, they don't increase their number, but when they adjust themselves according to the environment, then they and the resources are available in abundance, then they increase their number. So that is the exponential phase. But as their number increase, you all know that the resources will become limited, and when the resources will become limited, it is very difficult for these organisms to survive. So what happens? Their number is stabilized. There may be few death, there may be few birth, but the number of the birth rate and the death rate will try to equalize themselves. So it remains stagnant here, and this is the sigmoid curve. And the equation for this sigmoid curve is dn upon dt is equal to Rn k minus n upon k. So what happens is, the symbols are same. The symbols are same here. The symbols are same, only one more letter has been added, and that is K. Rest of the letters have the same meaning as I have explained you. Now what is K? K is present here on the y-axis, and it represents the carrying capacity. It represents the carrying capacity. What is carrying capacity? It is the total number of organisms which the nature can tolerate. Because the natural resources are limited, so if the number of the organism will increase to a great extent, then there will be hardly any space for them to live. There will be hardly any space for hardly any food available to them. So nature will not be able to provide them the resources. So what will happen? The number of the organisms, there will be competition. There will be fight. There will be struggle. So the number of the organism will remain limited because the resources are limited. So here it is. This is the carrying capacity. The environment have got a specific carrying capacity beyond which the number of the organisms cannot increase. dn upon dt is equal to Rn k minus n upon k. So carrying capacity and the biotic potential tries to maintain a balance between them. So this is the second growth curve, and this is shown by human beings. This is shown by human beings. So with this we completed the two growth curves. So now the questions which you are supposed to do is to differentiate between these two growth curves. What are the difference? You have to write the difference between the curves. This is question number 1, difference between curves. Then another question for you is the one which we have, the topic which we studied earlier from